The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Butchers the Bible podcast. I'm your host, Crispy Tits.
Whoa, that threw me. You did look a bit crispy. When I FaceTimed you earlier, you did look a bit crispy in the sun.
Yeah, man. I feel very, very baked.
Yeah. And I'm Luke.
Two blokes preaching the good word of the meat industry.
One episode at a time.
Nice. Very good.
How's it going, Crispy Tits?
Yeah, I'm feeling very, very sticky, you know, like so much sun and like coming back to, 10 degrees less, like here in the UK is just like I feel a bit like all sticky wearing the shirt and everything because I haven't been wearing the shirt much.
You've been moisturising after you've been in the sun?
Not really. Like,
you're not burnt, are you?
No, but it's just like my shoulders got a little bit burnt, but then after the next day, it's just like I've just gone this like brown glaze, and my wife gets really upset. She's like, "How have you spent one day in the sun and then you're brown?" And she's like, "That it doesn't help. Like you're making me look pale." And I was like, "Babe, you are.
You're out there sprinkling your MRC smoky barbecue on yourself."
Yeah, just glazing myself up. Like, yeah, baby.
Yeah,
yeah, I get
it. You look good, man. You look good. You look good on it. I'm really happy to you. We barely spoke actually because I just wanted you to have fun and relax and be with your family, and also your wife was telling you to get the fuck off your phone every time you touched it.
Yeah. It's just the phone's just strapped to me all the time. Men are the people, got to give everyone what they want. But yeah, also Turkish Wi-Fi, not a fucking thing.
Nothing, just pants.
Yeah, it just keeps dropping in and out. You got to reset the modem or whatever it is, and then that takes like 10, 15 minutes, and you're like, I'm just going to take this, I'm going to throw that over there. and then
nice. And
then eventually I'll see my phone light up and it's like, oh, I got Wi-Fi again. And then, yeah, that's why the first like 2 or 3 days I just didn't respond to anyone. Yeah.
Nor should you. We're in this stupid freaking society now where everyone thinks you should be able to get hold of everyone 24/7. It's not healthy. So this was probably the best thing for you to do, mate, is just completely disconnect, get some sun, be with your girls, just have some fun and eat good food. Sure I did.
The Turkish food, man, is just the cuisines, and the cuisines are like, it's amazing. The flavors, the meat that they do as well, and everything's like basically over charcoal and everything's barbecued. So, it's just a perfect balance. But then you also got like the fresh like fruit and the smoothies and everything as well. It's just completely different than it is like in the UK. I'm sure like everyone's like, fuck the UK and the fruit and everything, but this, fruit's fruit. But when you're like abroad, it always is different. Everything's just always feels different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get that nostalgia, don't you? And then you come back and you're like, oh yeah. And you fall into those same routines and those habits and everything that you build these really nice ones around what you were doing on holiday.
Yeah.
But the same,
it's hard to facilitate the same habits at home, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with work, little ones. It's just that work-life balance is just really thrown out. And then, there is 24 hours in the day, but, you're trying to make do with what you have and just trying to utilize the time. But like every time you're on holidays, you always have the time, unless you fill it up with their criteria for like hiking or sightseeing and whatever else,
Right. Yes.
Yeah. It is those holiday, like I haven't quite got the holiday blues. But like, I don't even know what that feels like because I haven't had a holiday in 4 years, between like owning and running a shop to having my daughter and what's going on with her to, whatever else is like life throws at you and all the curveballs. But it was really nice. Like you said, like disconnecting, not being able to be reached for the period of time. And also I think the Wi-Fi helped as well, just not even looking at the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the photos took 1,000,001 photos. It's a very picturesque place where I was. And it was really funny because the whole place is just, it all kind of meets, it all goes down like into a massive slope, and everything where it is right in the bottom. So when you're walking up these hills, they're like you're almost leaning forward, walking up these hills, and it's like 30 something degrees. And you're like, oh my God, I'm extra sticky. And then you got like this baby strapped to you as well. And she's just like, she's just like, you're not helping moving as well.
Yeah.
You got that layer as well because she's on the front, because you got her strapped in at the front, and she's just glazed, and you're glazed. And you're like, oh, it's so sweaty.
You're like, we need to find beers soon.
Yes, yes, all the beers. But like everywhere there was just like there were restaurants, but then you had like all the food carts and everything as well. So like in the vans, you could like, the way I could tell from the really good cuisines with how old the vans were, because the vans weren't moving. They were just rusted into the pavements.
Yeah.
They're like the tires, everything is melted and it's fused one with this, like with the pavement. And you're like, I bet you that's got the good food. And you look at it like hygiene isn't even a thing here.
And the guy looks exactly the same as the car.
Yeah, exactly. He's there.
Old girl. Yeah. They're just there.
And it's like,
leave.
They never leave, no. And the thing is as well, because the van, and then like one part of it is all blacked out, and then the others you can just see like all the cleaning materials and all the spices and everything. You're like, so there's either way he cooks or he's living. So I don't know where I'm going to go with this, but I'm going to eat here anyway. And didn't get sick, didn't nothing.
Good.
And I ate at most of those places as well. And my wife's just like, this is dodgy. And I was like, yeah, but we've also traveled Southeast Asia, and that's dodgy.
Yeah.
So I'm not really scared.
Yeah. At least this is kind of like mid-Western. It's not Western at all.
It's not Western. No, it was really good. It's nice to see you, man.
And you. I've missed your tones, your voice.
Yeah, it's a horrible time, but I enjoy it.
Hey, you're fucking going, can?
Oh, why? That's not what I sound like. Well, I liked it. Speak to me again like that.
Speak to me again. Right. I just want to touch on last episode. Last guest we had was Simon Taylor, who dropped a bit of news in the pod. I just want to say again, huge support to Simon. You know, big life-changing event, and you know we're here for you, buddy. I know he's listening, and
we love you.
Just a thing to put it out there. Go get yourself checked. You know, you just don't question it. You know, there's never too early. Yeah, definitely. Call a mate. You know, reach out. You know, I'm feeling down. Doesn't matter what's going on. You always call your mates. Check in on them. Yeah. Mental health month is June now. So it is. That's right. Yeah. So call a mate, ask them, talk to them, see how they're going. Someone you haven't spoken to, but you've been thinking of, just reach out to them. It could turn to a 5-minute chat just to see how they're going, or it could do a 5-hour chat. It's entirely up to them. But just remember, get your butts, boobs, and balls checked. Very much so. Yeah. Thank you, Simon, for that episode as well. We got plenty of love, and the support's here for you, mate. And same with everyone else as well. Yeah. We do love everything you guys are doing around the world. 100%. I mean, I saw him this week as well. It's pretty cool. Yes. Now, have you got some juice for me about the Toomja boy? I wouldn't say it's the juiciest of juices. Okay. But it was good fun, man. Run me through the day. Run us through the day, all the listeners, all of the thousands of listeners. So the day kind of started off around 11, 12 o'clock. Yeah. Relatively late, I thought, for me, but obviously that gave everyone a chance to get there, get settled. And they had things to set up, and they weren't going to be doing that at the butt crack of dawn, were they? Mm-hmm. So we all got there for 12. Everyone started filtering in to Plumpton, saying, hey, you know, meeting people that you see on Instagram, and you're like, oh, you know. Can't get an autograph. Yeah. Ryan came in. He I forgot that he was Scottish for some reason. Yeah. Right. He's got a strong Scottish accent.
Oh yeah, I love.
And I was like, oh, how's it going, man? And he was like, yeah, good. It was just good fun. We had a bit of a meeting, sort of like briefing sort of thing. Talk to sponsors, listening to Simon and Simon Taylor and Simon from the Delsman Group give us rundowns on what the 2 days were going to look like, and also what we're going to be doing moving forwards. And it was Tuesday was the real butchery day. Mm-hmm. We all went to the pub. No, it was Tuesday and Wednesday, wasn't it? It was bank holiday Monday.
Yep.
Tuesday was briefing day, bit of networking and just getting to know each other. Went to the pub, got loads of food. A bunch of them stayed at Plumpton. I didn't, as I'm fortunate enough to live 40 minutes away. Everyone that's staying in Plumpton is staying in an agricultural college dorm rooms, which I can. The chat was popping. Everyone just sending pictures of what their rooms look like. Is it Lee? Lee came down.
Yeah, Lee Ash.
From Blade and Bone. He came down and he showed us a video, and he was like, "Why does my room have blood stains on the floor?" It was so bad. And then Simon sent one to the group when everyone was heading up for the evening. I'd gone by this point, but he sent a video of like just the paint peeling around the perimeter of the bed, where it's sort of like body sweat. It looked like damp, but it was just like the weirdest color paint you've ever seen. And the morning after, I saw him when I arrived, freshly showered. But these rooms were literally they were a sink in the corner and a bed and some rickety 20-year-old wardrobe. That was it. No shower. There was communal showers down the dorm, single communal toilets down the dorm. I helped Ben take some of his bags up because I wanted to see what his one was going to look like. And I opened the door and I was like, at least there's no blood stains. And he was like, it's clean.
I've slept in worse.
Yeah. I was like, oh gosh. I was quietly smug that I was going home to my own bed.
Wow.
But I saw Simon in the morning, and I was like, how was that? He looked at me, and he looked at me. He was walking back to the butchery from the canteen. He was like, I'm 42. I'm doing pretty well for myself. I really don't need this. So good.
I love it.
But just the way he said it was just the funniest thing. And apparently a bunch of the other guys had phoned their significant others and was like, what am I doing? What am I doing here?
You'd rather be glamping or something. It'd be better.
Well, there was a hotel down the road. I think it was Premier Inn, not 10 minutes away.
Yeah. You could probably get like a bulk price on Premier Inn or something.
Yeah.
As 15 of yous or something?
I think so. And then it was in the group chat. Everyone was going, "Can we do hotels next time?" I think it was all a big thumbs up from everybody.
Yeah, nice.
Apart from me, and I said I had a great sleep.
I'm all refreshed. I smell like daisies, baby.
Yeah.
You smell like sweat and sin.
Oh gosh, there was a couple of others that didn't stay either. And we were all fresh faced and like, "Hey, everybody." Yeah. Wednesday, large butchery day. Basically just seeing how the people work, running through some initial ideas which are on the cards or what people just wanted to get out there and say, this is what I can do. And
putting people in their positions almost and seeing where the strengths work.
Yes. Yeah. People was going around the groups because we're split into certain groups, just basically, what do you want to do? What's your preferred positions? Choosing those positions and just running with it, I guess.
Who do you have in yours?
I was with Ben. I had Connor Ringrose. I had Ben, Scottish Ben, young Ben.
Yeah.
Surname. Yeah. Well, it was split between the certain proteins, different proteins. The groups changed every time. It wasn't a set group. So
you they had tables for different proteins, and then you would go there with different people and different proteins.
Yeah. Basically, just seeing who was breaking down with who was trimming, who was processing, who was finishing, and it was more of just to see, I reckon, if people can mold to that type of butchery.
Yeah.
It's funny, halfway through, everyone's going, is it hot in here? I'm like, yes, it's fucking boiling, because everyone's just razzing it in a safe way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, trying to show off the skills a bit, as seeing what you can do with it all.
Yeah. So obviously we know that Simon has got his treatments coming up in the next year or so, and he was very much he was floating around.
Yeah,
which is quite good. Being hands-on, talking to people, asking how they were feeling and what they were doing, and he can't help himself, He can't help himself at all. He's resigning himself to somewhat of the team manager rather than being directly involved in the squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you couldn't have told him to keep a knife down. He was in there straight away, popping around all the tables.
Yeah. I think even if it was in the peak of his treatment or whatnot, Simon is dedicated to that, because that, the Team GB is it's essentially his baby, and he's representing.
Has been for the last two competitions.
Yeah, that is kind of his baby, and I think even if he was at his worst, I don't think he would put the knife down. He would be there regardless.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, "I'm going to keep my knives sharp," and everyone was like, "We weren't like that," but we were like understated British people going, "Oh,
no, click. Yeah, it's hot for you."
Apart from that, yeah, credit. It was really good fun. It was just good to see people in the flesh and see how they work. Great. Ben's on another level with how he switches it on into the competitive butchery.
Does he flick of a switch? You see it in his eyes.
Solid. Oh, he fucking loves it, mate. And and he's got it so down. All his kit is great. Everyone had such awesome stuff. When everyone got their knives out, getting all kitted up, because we got all our branded aprons, hats, and everything.
Nice.
Everyone was sort of looking at each other's knives, being like, "That's pretty cool. That's cool." And people looking at my knife, and I'm like, "Oh yeah."
What can I say?
Yeah, and it's just because obviously it's like your baby, right? Having your knife, it's part of you, it's an extension of you, and to see what other people are comfortable with is really interesting.
What was the most interesting, would you say, that you saw and kit?
No, it's very much a lot of the same, but the quantity of stuff that people have.
Why did people have 6 steak knives or something?
No, I did, yeah. Well, I turned up with my my box, right, my knife box, and Simon was like, "Fucking hell, what have you got there? A drill?" I was like, "No." Because it looks like a drill box. Because being self-employed, it looks like it's a briefcase. So that's what I used to take around, rather than just lugging around a full something. I want something nice and compact and whatever.
When you get a knife roll,
I prefer the box, because you can keep so much more stuff in there. It's like a toolbox as well.
True. All right.
So you got the knives on the top, and then you can lift up the knife panel, and then underneath you got half the briefcase, the case's storage, gloves, steels, plasters,
always need plasters.
Yeah.
And vinyl gloves.
Yeah, invoice book when I was doing it, paper.
Yep, nice.
Yeah, bunch of stuff. But it's just so cool. I mean, you got Ben, who just turns up with a Yeti cooler full of butchery paraphernalia, and then another trailer filled with VAP paraphernalia.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
He's just he had some serious stuff. And loads of people just turning out with the bread crates or their works crate full of stuff.
Yeah,
it was awesome to see. Elsie could barely carry hers, but she had it. It is cool.
Nice, and everyone brought a notebook with all their ideas and everything as well.
I think so. Yeah, there were some crazy things flying around, but it's just taking those initial ideas as it is, like in a shop, and running with them. No idea is a bad idea. Until you feel like you've reached the pinnacle of it, do you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Or you think this can't evolve anymore,
right? Okay.
Rather than just adding another glaze, because you want to look fancy pants, don't you?
Well, yeah, it needs to shine on the plate and has to be displayed in the fashion that you're presenting it. So
yeah.
there's loads.
There's loads.
Westy there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was. Yeah, he was there with Dutch Spices.
Yeah, thought so.
So he was there tearing around, taking pictures and showing off all his glazes that we got to use. You know, we had Dalesmen there who were giving us the seasonings, and loads of other stuff. We had DB Foods there, who were supplying us with a bunch of equipment and seasonings as well. And
because DB and Johnny West's company, Dutch, they're the same company, just under
and they're a gold sponsor as well. So and you've got a bunch of people. Sponsorships still open. Yeah, if anyone wants to know, there's multi-layered tiers of sponsorships, and every little helps. It's not cheap. We had that rundown in the briefing on Tuesday. These teams going to places is not cheap. You can imagine what it's like, for smaller countries, smaller teams.
Yeah.
You got places like America, Australia. They have a larger ocean of sponsorships to choose from.
Kind of.
In a way, yeah. There's large demographics.
It's all self-funded and publicized, and a lot of stuff like Brett Law said as well. Like the sponsorships are open, but they're in Australia you have such a great backing, and same with New Zealand and everything. But everything is still self-funded. It still has to be self-promoted, and it has to come along authentically.
Sure.
But like, where do sponsors find? Like, if someone wants to be a sponsor, where do they find that to be one?
I'm pretty sure you can find it on the NGB Butchery Instagram. There's links on there.
Yeah, there's
links on the National Craft Butchery website. Yeah, also Scottish Craft Butchers as well.
Mm-hmm. All three of those websites. You can just follow the links and become a sponsor. If there's any British people who actually are listening to this and do have a company as well, get involved. Be a part of it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like huge expenditure. But every little helps.
Every little helps. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it's amazing to see all those people in one room, and just the enthusiasm. Obviously, because I've never done competitive butchery. A bunch of people there have, and to see the enthusiasm and all these everyone just like firing away, it's making everything. It's great. It's great to see. It's given me a bit of a buzz.
Get you fired up again, doesn't it?
It did because I've spent so long just breaking bodies of beef and all I remember in retail is just being like, these bloody customers. Obviously it's good fun, but you're constantly being like, why can't I just like be a butcher and not serve customers? But you do miss it in a way.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously doing less value-added stuff, if any, at the moment. But it was good to get creative. I made some good things that had got some good compliments. So I was like, maybe I do know what I'm doing.
Check me out.
But it was good fun, good crack. And I think the next one is in July.
July time. Wow.
And we could be going to the Midlands or up to Scotland to give the just to make it fair on the Scots.
Definitely. You got Ricky, you got Ryan as well, and Ricky's son, That's it's not even really that far because most of you guys are like a bit further up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I'm well up for a trip to Scotland. I'll be doing it anyway, even if I wasn't doing it for butchery.
I'll just come up for the shits and gigs as well.
Yeah, dude, I go to Scotland every year anyway, so I'm down for that. And you should definitely come as well. Yeah. Like Simon said off air, I think it was last time. It was like, and we should just get you there to stir some shit up.
Yeah, I can do. But then he called me a mole. He goes, "This is what." I was like, "Oh, there we go." Yeah. Thanks for that. You can give all the insider tips over to Australia.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he'll be the mole. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, we'll wonder why Australia have got one of our products.
Yeah, but just they don't even need your products because of how great we are.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we've got it all for.
Still rooting for the home team, baby.
Still rooting tooting.
It's Monday. Get off me.
I know it is late, isn't it? How long have you been up and awake? You got back from holiday this morning, didn't you?
Yeah, so 8 o'clock flight. typical easy jet, hour and a half delay.
Was that 10 o'clock local time though as well?
Yeah. So got off the runway 10:30, 4-hour flight. Got home about 4:30. Two and a bit hour sleep, 3 maybe. Daughter was up, playtime, and then I was up. I've had 5 coffees. I mowed the lawn, front and back, did the hedges, cooked food on the barbecue, and then FaceTimed you really, and then we've just kind of, caught up now. So,
and here we are.
We show up, don't we?
One thing I was going to ask you said you went to like the food sort of districts, didn't you? Was there any butchery
in the food district? So,
of course there was. No, because I saw that you posted on your Instagram. You with your Turkish boys.
Yeah, the Turks. Yeah, man, that was sick. So where we were staying was in like a villa, and it was overlooking the sea, and then like all the other villas and everything as well. And literally at the bottom of the hill, and just tucked off to the left, was this like remarkable butchery, like marble floors. The window display, like one window display, was maybe 12 meters, at least 10. It was huge. And then the other one was probably 6, maybe a bit bigger. Like it was just one massive L shape. And then they had like this little deli tucked up in the corner where they did all the Turkish fresh bread, like snacks, like they had these like really cool, like massive, like swirled donuts, but they had a pretzel texture, but inside of the actual, like the actual thing itself had like big chunks of like chocolate and then hazelnuts, crushed hazelnuts all over the top, drizzled in like this like sauce.
Like a bagel?
No, it had like a pretzel texture, like when you bite into a pretzel.
Like are you talking about the big doughy ones?
There was just this big round swirly thing, and inside of that it was like a pretzel with big chunks of chocolate with hazelnuts all over it. It was the weirdest thing, and I just kept eating them.
That sounds fucking bomb. That sounds so good.
But yeah, it was incredible. And then, but when you walked into this like butcher shop, like because all the roads are like half built, so there's all like free range dogs and tortoises everywhere. Like there's literally tortoises just roaming on the streets, like literally
free range.
Yeah, free range tortoises just everywhere, and they're like,
love that.
They're just everywhere, and these dogs are just running around, barking at like the cars and losing their shit, sleeping in the sun.
I freaking love the stray dogs. Are the best thing about going to that part of the world. Yeah,
they were absolutely.
Or the cats, where they would just hang outside of the massive hotels. Feed them.
And people. There's just biscuits like everywhere. So when you're walking on the paths, when there is paths, there's just big lumps. It's like big lumps of just food everywhere for like the cats and the dogs, and the tortoise come up and they have a little nibble as well, and then they just slowly make their way to wherever they're going. But it's like it was just amazing. But when you walk into this butcher shop, you had this marble flooring, big beautiful window displays, and then they had like all this like it looked like this like sheet metal that they had, but it was like the design that they had for the like doors. So they had like all these cabinets underneath, like behind the counters. And then they had these like minces as well. And these minces was like these chubby monkey little things. But then it had like on the side, I saw it had like a gauge on it that had like a cooling gauge. So it would tell you the temperature. Like that's
cool.
But the language barrier, because I was looking at the mince, like it's got a temperature gauge on the actual, like the mince.
Did you walk in and you're like, I am a butcher? And they were like,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they were like, hello, sir, how are you today? Would you like to buy? And I was just like, hang on, give me a sec. Let me have a look. And they had the big window display that was like 12 meters or whatever. It was just had straw, 4 tiers. And then they had like hanging from like the top of the actual display. They had like all these sausages and like all these cooked meats all above it and everything hanging over the raw product and everything. And then like these tiers of like cut ribeyes, which also is a really funny thing. So they had the cut ribeyes on these display, like rotating display circular boards that were rotating. And then they had the ribeye itself whole, and then a bit of the chuck attached to it. Like still
boneless or bone on, you mean?
Boneless. The whole thing was boneless as ribeye. but it still has some of this chuck left on the end. I was just like, oh, okay.
I'm a big fan of chuck steak, so
yeah, but it was still attached, and I was just like, why aren't you rolling that up or doing, something? It's just not like when you do in the Western world, would you? Like you'd cut that off and you'd tie it up as a roast or dice it, do whatever, mince it, burgers, whatever. But they had those kebabs. They had these kebabs. There was a handful of kebabs actually, but these kebabs that they had the fingerprints where they minced it as beef and lamb, and they had the finger marks all the way through it. And so it was
like the sheesh where they pinch it on. Sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's what they had. So they had like small ones, and they had like the extra large ones displayed and whatever else. And then they had like these beef swirled. I don't know what they were using, but it was little beef swirls on a skewer with a big lump of fat, and then the beef swirl with a lump of fat in between it, breaking it up. And it was just like,
so are you talking like in the swirl, it's like a layer, is a swirl of fat, or is it just a big old lump?
It's just a big old lump of swirled beef where they've rolled it out, swirled it up, cut it, and then put one on, lump of fat, and another swirl, the lump of fat, another swirl. So it was like red, white, red, white, red, white.
It looked like a kebab type deal.
Yeah, so it was like red, white. It was wild. And I was like, obviously, like everything was in Turkish, and the guys who ran or owned it or whatever, like their language barrier was non-existent. So when I was looking, and he's like, would you like, sir? Like, would you like? And I was just like, give me your phone. Give me your phone. And the guy's like, I was like, phone, yours now. And he was like, then I was like, yeah. And I was like, Google Translate. And so we're sitting there having a conversation. I was like, and I put, I'm a butcher. And then the guy who was running it turns it to the boys behind the counter, and all you hear is, they're like, oh, they all run around to the front and everything. They're like, oh, let's get a photo. And I was like, all right, yeah, of course. And then everyone in those worlds, they're all smaller, like, because I'm 6 foot. So if you look at the photos, these guys are like probably normal size in their country, and then there's me. But it was just fantastic, and they had like all beef and like lamb, like there's big pockets of like lamb, so like at least like 4 meters of just like lamb displays, like lamb swirls of just in all these different flavors and everything. Then they had this massive chicken section, and the chicken section they had like these like shish kebab chickens, where they had like,
was it just like half chickens? A lot of it was just on the bone, marinated.
So there was like two rows of like whole chickens displayed, like propped up. And then they had these shish kebabs where they were marinated in like 3 or 4 different flavors of chicken thighs. And so they had like quite large ones that like, just like there's probably about 1.5 kilos of just chicken thighs on this one kebab. And then they had like the little ones were chicken wings. So they double pronged the chicken wings with 2 skewers. And they had like, they probably had like 8 to 10 chicken wings just on this one skewer. Like it was just crazy. And then they had like chicken breasts, like just wrapped in trays and everything, all propped up and like nicely. And like it was and the display was just like pineapples, pomegranates, oranges, all mixed in within it all. And they had like the straw, like that just ran across.
You're saying straw as in like hay and straw sort of thing?
Yeah. So the straw and everything was like breaking up bits of the display, and it was like maneuvering, like they just kind of did it that way, and they were using like the pineapple was like a middle display, and then they'll like pomegranate, and all of it was kind of cut up and like all strategically just placed everywhere. It was just like, it was nice to be home and see like a window display in that way. It was almost reminded me of mine and like Ryan T's and Carl's.
Yeah, like traditional, but also they put a lot of effort into it.
100%. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Hey, Anne.
Yes, Lee.
Spring's coming, and our friends over at Was a Sauce Hut are having an exclusive offer for all your cooking needs. When you use code BB15, that's BB15, and get 15% off all purchases.
From gift cards to family and single pack sauces, they range from Luke's favorite apple bourbon sauce to Ant's mango, all the way through to their award-winning Crack and Fury rum-infused hot sauce. Woo! Yeah. Start stacking your shelves and get ready for summer, and most importantly, save yourself some money with the code BB15. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
Straw. What do you reckon the HACCP is for that? You're going to put that into your HACCP plan. We get the straw freshly mown, organic.
Yeah, no pesticides on this bitch.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a good question.
Where do you reckon that meat comes from? Do you reckon it's free range? Did you manage to put that into Google Translate? Translators are available.
Well, there was 4 of them, and they were all like texting on the phone and everything. Anyway, like trying to get like the conversation in and everything. And I was just like give me your phone. And then I was like, here's my like Instagram and everything. And then they're just all like, wow. and then they're like, oh, like, look at this and that. And then, because there's videos of me breaking beef and, making stuff and everything. And they were just like, they were mesmerized by like the linking form that I use for my sausages. They were just like, what is going on? Like, this is crazy. And they went to like the window displays and everything. And the guy was like, he must have been the head butcher. And he was just like tapped himself in the chest. He's like, He goes, that's a good display. Yeah.
Respect.
No, the HACCP though, the HACCP questions.
They've got to have some kind of equal, like, what's the word? Equivalent to it, mustn't they?
I would say comes under the same as us for kale. Like it doesn't.
It's not as strict.
Yeah, maybe. But I think it comes under like us using kale in the window displays and other bits. But I think the straw, I don't know, if the straw comes in bags and is for display purposes only, perhaps. Like
maybe. Yeah, sometimes they're not just putting it out of the barn as they drive past to work, are they?
Well, I don't know. There is a lot of like bamboo and fields of like random stuff and lots of tortoises.
Lots of tortoises.
So
is there any what other food was there in this little area?
So just like across, like a little bit down the hill and just across, they had like this massive strip of street where they've just quartered off, and it's like it's huge. It goes for at least a mile of just all stores, and like obviously you got your like knockoff brands of like shoes and like Chanel towels and all this random stuff that you kind of get in Asia as well.
Yeah.
But then they had these massive displays of like fruit and veg, like huge displays, huge. And like they had like 3 like tiers of like cherries and like 2 tiers of like avocados and these watermelons. These watermelons were huge. Like the size of my chest. They were huge. But they must have weighed like maybe 10, 15 kilo watermelons or something. They were huge. And the way they displayed it all. So they were stacking fruit and color scheming, like all the fruit and everything. The display was just fantastic. And it was like, I got like a kilo of cherries for like, I think it was like equivalent of like 2 pounds or something. And I was sitting there just walking around the market, just eating those and like spitting the pips on the ground and everything as well. But it was it was incredible. And like the further you go down, there was like all the Turkish like sweets. So there was like the Turkish delights and the teas and everything. There's like a little coffee stand and everything, and like Turkish coffee is
it's great. It's similar to Greek coffee. It's great,
fantastic. They just give it to you in a little cup as well. It's just this little itty bitty cup, and you're like,
it's rocket fuel.
Yeah, but you can't chug it because at the bottom is all the settlement as well.
Yeah.
So you got to sip it to try and get it all. But like, I was probably in the market for like 2 or 3 hours, it just kept going and going and you just kept looking at stuff, and it was just incredible. And like, it's the guys who were there were first thing in the morning with these old fellas, Turkish fellas, and they would just they sat there obviously since the morning. And then when I made my way back to the entrance, they were still there, still drinking the same cup of coffee. And like, it was just wild. Like they just sit there all day, just drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes.
It's too hot to be stressed, man.
Oh God, yeah. But
it was really hot to be stressed.
There was this one store that just stood out for me. There was a pancake place, and so not like Western pancakes or whatever, like thick pancakes. These were like these almost like crepes, but the flavor was like almost like a tortilla.
Right.
And so I was like watching this woman. She was probably in her 70s, maybe a bit older. You can't tell with those women, but she took this little ball of dough
It's that Mediterranean skin.
Yeah, baby.
That's good.
It's good. And she just took this little ball and like within like a dozen hand movements, because she had a little thin bamboo rolling pin or whatever, and like in a dozen movements she was rolling it out flat, and it was just like it just was like 2 or 3 dinner plates. It was huge. And then she would take that and then put it onto this like hot plate, circular hot plate, and then she was like slicing bananas with like a little hook knife, but she wasn't even looking, and they were paper thin, like but just like pieces of banana, and she was placing them on it, putting honey on them, or like just everything, and she was flipping it and turning it, and then she would roll them up into like almost like a long burrito, but layers and layers and layers of it, and then she was cutting them really thin. And there was only one pace for this woman, and that was it, and the lineup for it was huge, and I waited. Obviously I waited. Oh, it was phenomenal. But this woman just like, it had to be like a dozen hand movements where this little ball, it was just spread out, and it was on the hot plate ready to go, and it was just remarkable. I think it was like 50p or something for like a pancake or something.
I love that. There's proper good food, and she's been there doing that for so long.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years she's been doing that.
Yeah. She did hundreds of years and 60, 70 years. But it was remarkable as well. And like, but you don't even notice as well because you're in the open air, but everyone has a fag. Everyone is smoking.
It's the culture. It's the culture, mate. You know, myself and my girlfriend went to Cyprus, same thing.
Yeah.
You know, food and family and sitting outside, and it's fucking brilliant. Everyone goes for a nap around 1, 2 o'clock.
Siesta, yeah.
Sort of not to do anything.
Oh, yeah. I was out and about at that time, 2, 3 o'clock, when it was like nearly 30 degrees or 30 plus. I was just...
where the fuck is everybody?
Yeah. But that poor woman, she was there all day and night.
God, yeah, it is the culture as well. They just smoke. I went to Italy once. You actually were looked at strangely because you didn't smoke, or you weren't smoking. I smoked at the time. Very much so, but there are people going, oh, no, fine. Everyone's going, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know?
Every restaurant you went to, every bakery.
Ashtray, boom. Yeah.
That was it. All the ashtray was there, and then they'll have like a lighter. It's like, you want a light? And you're just like, oh, no, I don't smoke. You know, because I didn't smoke or anything while I was on holidays. I didn't even have a drink either, which was good, because it was just like a unwind. Like I just didn't want to waste 6 days, you know, and one of them or 2 of them just, you know, sitting around being hungover or whatever, because I also got my daughter as well. But I also wanted to get out and listen and, you know, get in amongst it and, you know, just do what I wanted to do without like being strapped to a phone.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's so good to actually not be drinking at all.
And I'll tell you what, it's really funny because I had my daughter strapped to me, and every bloke came up and they're like, oh, just losing their mind. They're just like, oh, you're so precious. Oh,
it's the culture again.
Yeah.
It's family orientated. I don't know why in the Western world we just hate our families now.
Yeah. We're just yeah. But it was just the running joke of the week as well was like, because I had it strapped to me, and the guys who were at the front of the restaurants, who were like, hey, you want to come in? We got terrace, we got, you know, you can see ocean and all this. And like the guys were like, hey, gorgeous, how are you? And I'd be like, you're talking to me? And then their faces are like, oh, no, baby. And I was like, you know, laughing and whatnot.
Yeah.
By like the 12th one down the street, my wife was like, it's old now. It's old.
Yeah.
I'm like, not yet.
Yeah, it's over when I say it's over.
Yeah, exactly. It was great. But like the support, everyone's just super friendly. And that was like the really nice thing about it. Like no one was really pushy, buy this, do this and that. They were just like, hey, come in, man. Like if you want, you know, we got cold beers, we got rooftop terraces looking into the view and whatnot, you know, bring your baby in, you know, we got, you know, family friendly and all this and that, you know.
It's probably because you're family as well. If you go out with your boys and the lads, there'll probably be a bit more attitude will change.
But there was a few...
What do you girls? Yeah.
There was a few bars that were dedicated to that because they were like, oh, playing live Madrid and whatever on the football there, cricket and everything. So there were bars dedicated. But then when you went further into town as well, there was like all these nice restaurants that were like family friendly and everything as well. Like they always stated family friendly and whatnot. And it was really good, but like no one was really pushy. It was just relaxing. And
Yeah.
30 degrees as well. It was great.
You feel better for it now, though, right?
I feel refreshed, charged, fired up. And yeah, it feels like I've got a normal habit now, between working all the time and just being business orientated to just switching off completely and just finding that work-life balance again and just spending that quality time with the girls as well, which is great.
Yeah, 100%.
And I would 100% recommend it.
I will do when funds allow.
Yeah.
100%. I 100% assure you on that one, my friend.
If not, you and I can just go, how's that?
Yeah. Hey, yeah. How is that?
Yeah. It'd just be one big blur. We're like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah. A couple of things before we wrap this one up. We've got a few dates that we want to announce. Myself and Ant, we are going to be at Taste of London on the 15th of June, Saturday.
The Saturday, yep.
If you see us, come say hi.
Get a selfie.
We'll be there.
We'll be there all day. We're going to be hanging out with our friends Flora and Simon and Ben Tyndale. They don't know it. They don't know it yet, but we're going to be strapped to them.
Yeah. That'll be good. Pete, our editor, will be coming along. Our producer. We'll be shooting some content. It'll be fun. Casual. We'll just have a day of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Should be wicked. We've got a few more dates to come and to confirm, but we'll let you guys know when we know.
Yep.
Yeah. Taste of London, 15th of June, Saturday.
Get on it. Be there.
On that.
Or be square.
Precisely. And I'm so happy that you had a good break. You needed it, mate.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
Very much so.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me the space as well, even though...
I did. Well, you were like, I'm not going to have my phone on me. And I was like, okay, simple as that.
Yeah, you do you, sister.
Send you some reels to make sure that you knew I was still pining after you.
And whenever the internet worked, it let me access them.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's good. It was a really good holiday. I'm looking forward to the next one as well. Whenever that shall be. But just now to plug away, keep bringing the content. And like Luke said as well, like Smoke and Fire, we are going to be shooting some content. We're going to be doing interviews. We're going to be talking to people. So be there, guys, if you want to be a part of it and see what we're going to be putting together. And you're like, oh, should have done that, rah. Just come, say hello, hang out with us. We drink beer.
100%.
Yeah. And we're hopefully it's a nice sunny day as well. So we're all huddling under.
It should be. We deserve it. It's been raining here fucking nonstop.
Definitely. Besides the weekend, apparently, in England, it was sunny for 2 days and everyone lost.
It was. We did. And we're now in June and it's still fucking raining. So happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, everybody. Merry Christmas as well. You're filthy. Yeah. Wow, we're not saying the C word. I know that's a trigger for all of us as well.
Murray Chrysler.
Just before we go as well, just want to say it is Mental Health Month as well in June. Like we said earlier, reach out, give someone a call. You've been thinking about them, you haven't gotten around to it. Just reach out, send them a DM, do whatever, because we're losing too many legends.
It's true.
And just tell them that you love them as much as we tell you guys that we love you.
We do.
Yeah. And also, don't forget, check your balls, bums, and boobs. Yeah.
So,
Triple B.
Right. Triple B. The Butcher's Bible, balls, bums, and boobs.
Exactly. All right.
Thank you, mate.
Love you, see you. I will send you reels non-stop now.
Hooray.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
I love you. Happy Monday, y'all. Enjoy.